Welcome to CoCreaThink Design. Let's learn about design together. Today, I want to talk about something that really gets to the core of what designers do. And, well, it might not be what you think.
So, when you think of a designer, what's the first word that pops into your head? For most people, it's creative. We have this picture of someone whose mind is just overflowing with new ideas.
Yeah, this image of a nonstop idea machine. And, while that's definitely part of it, that's really just the starting line of the race.
We tend to believe that the big goal is to make things look brand new, feel special, or have some kind of unique, cool style. And because of that, we often end up thinking that design is basically the same thing as creativity.
But let's just pause on that for a second. Let's ask ourselves a simple question. Is being cool really the same as good design? Because if we just say yes, well, we run into a little bit of a problem.
I mean, think about it. On one hand, we've all come across things that look amazing but are just a complete pain to actually use. And on the other hand, some of the most important, life-changing designs out there are so simple, so quiet, we barely even notice they're there.
And that right there, that gets us to the heart of what I really want to explore with you today. See, creativity is the spark, absolutely. It's where it all begins. But the real work of a designer, the part that often goes unseen, that's judgment.
Of course, we focus on the creative part. It's flashy, it's exciting. Who doesn't love a good story about a flash of genius or that one big idea that came out of nowhere? It's great stuff.
But here's the thing. Creativity without judgment is really just a collection of possibilities. It's judgment that looks at all those possibilities and actually turns one of them into a real, workable solution.
You see, creativity throws all the doors open. But then judgment has to walk into the room and ask the really tough questions, Which of these paths is actually worth our time and our energy? Is this idea just new for the sake of being new, or is it actually better for people? What's this really going to cost? Can we even build this thing right now? And maybe the most important question of all, is that less cool option over there actually the one that's going to work best?
Answering these kinds of questions isn't about having more ideas. It's about making tough choices. And this brings us to a fundamental truth. The real difficulty in design so often isn't a lack of ideas. It's the constant, unavoidable reality of making trade-offs.
Just think about it for a second. Every single decision a designer makes is a choice. And that choice has to balance so many competing things. What does the user need? What's the situation they're in? What's the budget? What technology do we have? And what about long-term maintenance and safety? It's this incredibly complex balancing act.
And that's exactly why good design is so rarely about finding the single coolest answer. It's about finding the most viable answer, the one that best navigates all of those real-world limits and constraints. It's about taking all those creative sparks and filtering them through the lens of reality.
And once you start to look for this principle of judgment, you see it everywhere. Let's think about a few of those quiet innovations that have really changed our lives.
So many of the best designs are things we just take for granted now, like the four-wheeled suitcase. It wasn't some dramatic, flashy invention. It was a simple, practical judgment call to add 2 more wheels. And that one little change completely transformed how we all travel.
Or think about something like a payment screen on an app. When you're in a rush trying to buy something, the last thing you care about is how stylish the button looks. You just want it to be clear, simple, and fast. The design is judged not by its looks, but by how well it performs when you need it most.
Even a restaurant menu is an act of design judgment. A truly great menu isn't about the fancy font or the beautiful pictures. It's about clarity. It helps a hungry person quickly understand their options, compare things, and make a choice they feel good about. It's really a tool for decision-making.
That feeling, that seamless, confident experience, that's really the hallmark of great design judgment. It's not trying to shock you, it's just trying to make your life a little bit smoother, a little bit clearer. Which brings us right back to the designer's real job.
A designer's work is a constant process of making judgments. They're judging the real nature of the problem itself. They're judging which of the many directions is actually worth developing. They have to judge what to keep, and just as importantly, what to let go of. And above all else, they're always judging what is genuinely best for people, not just what's going to look impressive.
So a designer isn't just a creative thinker. You could say they're a professional chooser. Their real expertise is in navigating this huge sea of possibilities and charting the most sensible, the most human, and the most viable course forward.
So, I'll leave you with this question to think about. After all this, what do you think is the harder part of design? Is it coming up with that brand new idea, or is it having the wisdom to decide which idea is truly worth bringing into the world?
In our next explainer, we're going to build on this and dig into that feeling we all know so well. Why are some things just a total joy to use, while others make you want to throw them against a wall? Every good design originates from clear thinking. Just like CoCreaThink's belief, we connect teaching, research, and practice. Please click subscribe to join us, share the video to spread the influence, and follow our latest updates. Let's think clearly about design together.